Hello and welcome back to Lawful Gaming Plays Neverwinter Nights 2. I'm your host Lawful. In this Neverwinter Nights 2 build video, we're doing the favorite Epic Divine Might Champion. As always, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Do not forget the notification bells to be updated and much more. Let's go ahead and talk about the pros and cons. Favorite souls, obviously, is the weapon feats you'll get for free at certain levels. Number 2, you'll be able to cast Divine Magic, aka Cleric spells. And another thing that's real good I felt personally is because of the Paladin stuff, you get to also smite evil and do some other good damage too. With this build, you have access to Epic Divine Might. And with the high charisma we're going to build, you can do a lot of damage. Now the cons is simple. You might start out a little slow, but it'll pick up real quick. Now another thing is yeah, your spells, they're selective. In other words, you cannot learn them all at once. You have to pick certain ones, so some that are really good as a cleric itself, you're going to definitely miss out on. So let's go ahead and talk about the races. It's time to definitely go over the races, so let's go ahead and do it. Now this is a strength and of course charisma build basically, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about the gold dwarf. Now bad news is it's just -2 on dexterity. Otherwise, this will actually be a good race for this build. Now gray dwarves, here's the deal. Yeah, it has some nice stats, however -4 charisma is a very hard pass. In other words, don't even think about it. You have to make up a lot of ground in order to get that charisma back. Shield dwarves, there's -2 charisma, same thing. I would do a hard pass on that, and besides, favorite class is a fighter. Let's talk about elves, shall we? Now, first one, drow. Actually, the drow is pretty good for this build. The only thing is -2 constitution. That's alright. Downside is that level adjustment thing you gotta deal with. Now moon elves, they are actually pretty decent for this build. Again, the only downside is -2 constitution, just like the drow. However, you get some nice immunities and much more. Yeah, and let's see what else I'm going to go ahead and talk about next. It's the sun elf. Now, they're alright. Again, -2 constitution. Like the other elves, you get immunity to magic sleep effects and much more. Low light vision, which is pretty nice if you want to go that route. So the next one we'll talk about is the wild elf. This one is actually pretty good if you could deal with the -2 intelligence. If you're really sacred about the skills, then yeah, don't go for it. Wood elves, I'm going to say is -2 constitution, -2 intelligence. +2 strength is good, so that's probably a good candidate, but the level adjustment thing, a few levels you have to gain. In other words, a lot more experience in order to level up. Now, next one is the gnomes. I'm going to be honest here. I believe both gnomes are minus in strength. So, yeah, you're going to have to be careful on that. I will go over them, though. Still, I advise not going for it, but I am just going to look at my notes, see what I have to say about it. Let's see here. Notes say is, for example, the deep gnomes, yeah, -4 on the charisma and the -2 on strength. Don't even think about it. Yeah, I wrote in big letters. Yeah, and the rock gnome's -2 strength, so yeah, don't go for it. Now we're going to go ahead and go for the next race. And what my notes say is, let's see here. Halfling. Okay, halflings, they have -2 strength, however, +2 dexterity. Yet, this is a strength build too, so yeah, you're going to have to do some adjustments to get that back up there. Now, this one, if I remember right, they have a nice thing like humans, which is extra feet and such, if you want to go for that, but still I will pass on the halflings, unfortunately. Let's see here. Half elf, I'm going to say is half elf, they're pretty decent. If you want no penalties at all, then definitely go for it. Since it's favorite class any, yeah, that's a good thing. Same thing with half drow too. Yeah, they're both good if you decide to go for that without worrying any of the major penalties you will get. In other words, no -2 strength, no -2 charisma, no -4 charisma, and such. Half orc, now they're good and bad. +2 strength is really nice, however, -2 intelligence, but -2 charisma is a big no. Yeah, they'll be strong, however, you'll suffer on the charisma side. You have to make up a lot of ground. That's not good. Humans, this will actually be a perfect candidate. However, one huge problem is you have to make sure you get strength, and of course charisma to 16. Some of the other stats will suffer, but still they're great to have. Plus the extra 4 skill points and the bonus feat is a huge plus if you want to go that route. Let's go ahead and talk about plain touch races. Aasimar, they're actually, I felt like for this build is the very best. In fact, you have not only +2 wisdom, which will help a little bit on the cleric spells, also +2 charisma. Yeah, that's your main spellcasting stat for your favorite soul. Yeah, get those, get that race ASAP if you want to go for that. Downside is the level adjustment you have to do. Tieflings, they're good for dexterity, intelligence, but charisma, yeah, that's the downside. I hate to say pass. You know, I love the Tiefling race, but no. The air one, my issue with it is -2 wisdom, -2 charisma. I would probably say skip this race big time. Yeah, I'm serious. Don't even bother. The earth variant one has nice on the strength +2. However, once again, -2 wisdom and -2 charisma. Pass. Same thing with the fire one. Pass. Because the -2 charisma. Yeah, this elemental race variant, yeah, you're going to get hit a lot with the charisma and negativity. As for the water one, +2 constitution, but the -2 charisma, yeah, pass on those. For this section, Aasimar is the best. In fact, I probably highly suggest that race for a build. For this build. It's up to you. Now, Yuan-Ti Pureblood, +2 charisma is really nice. It has that level adjustment, but still has some other good factors too. If you want to really go that far, go for it. Now, last but not least is the Grey Orc. Again, the Grey Orc, my issue with it is always is the minus on the charisma, but still, if you want a little bit of challenge, go ahead and do so. Now, for the next part of the build video, we're going to go ahead and go over the classes, so let's go to it. For this build, there's a total of 4 classes. I'll go over each of them. Favorite Soul, this is the main focus of the build. Now, your weapons might be simple weapons and Deity favorite weapons. Good news is if you pick a exotic weapon one, like for example, Baster Swords, you'll get the exotic weapon feat for free. Now, Monk, I'm just doing it mainly for the skill, which is very nice. Yeah, that's correct, everyone. And the one skill I definitely want out of it is the Tumble. Now, if you want to go unarmed, then go ahead and do so, but you have to load up your items with wisdom. That's the downside, but extra AC or 2 is nice. As for the Cleric, I'm going to probably say is, even though they're like polar opposite favorite soul, I'm going for the domains. Yeah, you get some feats out of it. Paladin, I'm doing 3 levels. Smite Evil, and besides, it's a gateway to a whole bunch of other good stuff. So I'm going to aim for 3 for that. And for now, we're going to go ahead and pick the favorite soul. That's level 1. Alignment, you're stuck with one alignment, I hate to say it, Lawful Good, so you better be on your best behavior with this build. Now, Deity, I'm going to go ahead and list some gods and goddesses. Now, Gong is a very good one because of Warhammer. If you decide to get the spell called Weapon of Impact, you get keen on your weapon. Any of the great sword ones is good. Helm is great. It's a Baster sword, it's lawful neutral, but still, it's very nice to have. It's a free feat. Now, Kelvmore, yeah, this one, the Lord of Death, Baster Sword, again, free exotic weapon feat. This one is actually pretty good. You get free martial weapon feat, and plus the weapon has a nice crit rate. And let's see here, if you want to get in the longsword ones, go ahead and do so. And yeah, Tormenteer is nice though. It's great swords and longswords if you want to go that route for the RP stuff too. I'm going to go ahead and pick Helm. That's always my favorite. Now, next up is the attributes, or say ability score. We're going to go ahead and do that. Now, strength will be at 16. That's going to be one of our priorities later on in this build. Dexterity, unfortunately, 12. Constitution will be at 14. I'll go over each of one of them for my own reasons. Now, intelligence, we're going to go ahead and do 14. We get some more skills. Leave wisdom at 10 and charisma at 16. So here's the deal. Strength, again, that's going to be our main focus of the build. We're going to try to get to 22. Dexterity's alright. You get some reflex saves out of the way. Constitution's good. Get some fortitude saves out of the way, which is nice. Intelligence, skill points, obviously. Wisdom's alright. Your will saves will suffer. And charisma 16. However, since you're a paladin, when you get to 3 levels, your charisma modifier will boost that up. Now, I didn't pick no backgrounds because I didn't want no penalties this time. As for skills, concentration, that is number 1 to max out. Number 2 is spellcraft. Get that to 30. We'll stop there. Diplomacy, that's optional, but if you're playing the original campaigns, pick that. When we say the 4 on tumble, when we get to the monk level, the first thing we're going to get is able learner. You're asking why this very early, or in fact start of the build. So you see, when we get to monk, Tumble will be, if we don't pick this feat, it'll be 2 points. With this feat, Tumble will be 1 point, so we get to definitely max that out. Now, as for spells, it's up to your own suggestion on that. The next section will actually definitely cover all the spells and my suggestions on which one you should get. I'm going to look at my notes, and my notes say is definitely go ahead and grab Bless. It's a nice buffing spell. You and your allies get some nice bonus to attack rolls and will saves. Divine Favor is pretty good. +1 bonus to attack damage and much more. Maximum is 3. Protection from alignment. This will give you a nice bonus against the opposite alignment. Since we're lawful good, we'll always have that bonus against evil. Now, pick the ones I'm picking. Don't worry, inflict minor wounds. You'll definitely get on the next favorite soul level, so don't panic. And you can also go ahead and when you level up through is to take out some of the spells you no longer use and pick ones you like. So always experiment. You might start out slow, but things will definitely quickly catch up. And by the time you're in the epics, you'll be really powerful. The next part of the video is my suggestions for spells. Here's my suggestions on level 0 and healing spells. Pick the inflict 1 last. You'll get all 5 definitely for level 0. As for healing spells, if you want to, go for it. But after you get a better one, make sure if you can, dump the previous one until you get the heal and mass heal. Heal and mass heal is the most powerful healing spells in the game, and they'll cover all your bases. So let's go ahead and talk about level 1 spells. Here's the level 1 spells: protection from alignment, deflection AC, save throws, immunity, mind effects, and spells against the opposite alignment. So for instance, you're a good player, you casted the spell, it protects you against evil foes. Now, Bless, party members in the area gets +1 attack and +1 will saves against fear. Divine Favor, caster gets +1 attack and +1 magic attack. Max on that is 3. Bless and Divine Favor are great, especially starting out. Same thing with protection from alignment. Shield Fate, +2 deflection AC. Max is 5. This is a really nice spell to have, so if you need some deflection AC, go ahead and cast this one. Here's the next set. Next one on the list, Cure Light Wounds. Heals 1d8 hit points +1. Max is 5. Great healing spell to start out with. Remove it once you get better ones down the line. Remove fear spells and effects. Target also gets +4 saves against fear. Great to have. Cast this when someone's running away because of fear. To get a nice bonus on that too. Entropic Shield. Foes around you suffer a -20 chance to hit. That -20% is really good starting out. Now, Sanctuary, target is ignored by foes unless they do an action. So for example, if you decide to cast a spell, that goes away. Now I'm going to say for this line, Cure Light Wounds, once again, good until you replace it. Remove fear, great to have. Entropic Shield, this is nice to have until you stop using it and then you can change it out for something else. Same thing with Sanctuary. So let's get to level 2. Here are my level 2 suggested spells. Aid, target gets +1 attack rolls, +1 saves versus fear, and 1d8 +1 hit point, max at 10 for the last line. Great to have, especially if you use a certain meta magic. Find traps. All traps in the area is known. Wonderful to have, especially if you have a rogue in the party and you just send him or her on the way to disable those traps. Lesser Restore, cure ability scores, AC attack, damage rolls, spell resistance, and saving throws. Will not cure poison and diseases. Great to use, just trust me. Now, Sonic Burst. All foes in the area take 1d8 damage Sonic. Now, if they don't make a fortitude save, they get stunned. Nice to use. Next up is Darkness. Casts a dark area. Anyone in the area gains concealment. Now, this is actually a nice spell to use against melee foes. So this way, they'll have a nice miss if they get affected by the darkness. Now, light spells will counter this too. Great to know if this happens to you. Resist energy. Target gets elemental damage resistance at 20/dash. Now, this holds up to 30 points of damage absorbed. Then it goes bye-bye. This is a good spell to use. You protect yourself with it. Silence creates a silence zone. Any foes in that zone, they cannot cast any of those spells. Now, if they have the silence spell meta magic feat, this avoids the silence spell, of course. Remove paralysis. Cures paralysis, wonderful to use. Now, silence I'll probably say is great against casters. Let's get to level 3. Here are the level 3 spells. Prayer. Allies gain the following: +1 attack and damage rolls, skill checks, save and saving throws. foes get -1 as mentioned above. This is a great buff spell to have. You definitely want to meta magic this one. Remove curse, remove all curses and effects. Now, if you've been cursed a lot by foes, you definitely want this. Otherwise, switch it out for something better later on down the line. Protection from energy, damage resistance is 30. Now, it absorbs 40 points, then that damage resistance goes away. Nice spell to have. It's better than the last one. Searing Light, undead receives 1d8 damage, max is 10d8. Constructs is 1d6, max is 5d6. Others is 1d8 and max is 5d8. This is a great trolling spell against the undead. You definitely want to use that if you're facing a lot of undead. Let's get to the next set. Next up is Blind Sight. Target gets see invisible, also can see in the darkness too. I'm going to say, good to have until you get True Seeing. Remove disease, remove all diseases and effects. If you're terrible at healing kits, use this spell. Vigor, target gains fast healing. This will allow 2 hit points per round regeneration. Nice soft regeneration spell until you get the regeneration spell actually down the line. I put this one, the last one, if you have blunt weapons. Weapon of Impact gives target blunt weapon keen. This means it drops threat rolls. For example, if you're at 20, now it's 19 through 20. So if you have Warhammer, Mace, etc., get this spell. Otherwise, forget about it. It'll be useless. Let's get to level 4. Let's talk about level 4 spells. Divine Power. Caster gains +1 hit points per caster level, +6 strength, and base attack bonus like a fighter. Now, this is a really seriously OP spell. It's one of the first spells you definitely want to cast before going to combat. Now, next up is Death Ward. Target's immune to the following: energy drain. That includes level drain, negative energy, spells and effects. And finally, death spells. That does include effects and spell-like abilities. You definitely want to buff this one, especially against foes who like to cast death spells. Freedom movement. Target's immune to the following: paralysis, slow, entanglement. Great spell to have on you. Restoration works like lesser restoration, however, removes level drain, blindness, and plus deafness. This is a great spell to use to cure yourself of those. Next up is Neutralize Poison. Removes all forms of poison. You really want this one, especially facing a lot of foes that love to poison you. Recantation. All allies in area gain +2 AC. Attack rolls and saving throws. Now, this goes to 3 if they all worship the same deity. Wonderful to have, especially if you have all your characters worship exactly the same deity. Leaf Spell Mantle. Caster gets a nice barrier that absorbs up to 1d4 +4 levels of spells before it goes bye-bye. Good spell to have against certain ones. Cast that and boom, you're safe. Cure critical wounds. I put this up here for a few reasons. Heal 4d6, 8 +1. Maximum on the 1 is 29 because it's caster level. Now, this not only heals, but it also does damage of the same matter against the undead. Great to use. Let's go to level 5. Here are the level 5 spells. Battle Tide, Roar that steals from your foes. If they don't make a negative base save, they lose the following: -2 on saves, attacks, and damage rolls. On the other side of that coin, you gain +2. A really nice spell. You definitely want to cast this sometimes at the start of battle or a little bit ways into it. True Seeing. Target can see sanctuary and invisibility as a nice bonus. It can also see foes that are hiding. This is a wonderful stealth killing spell. Race Dead brings back your target to life with 1 hit point, so you better heal him right away. Good spell to have. Righteous Might. Your size increases by 50%. You gain +4 strength, +2 constitution, +2 AC, and melee damage on weapons is +3. Also, you get damage reduction of 3 against the opposite alignment. Let's talk about more spells in this. Spell Resistance. Target gains 12 +1 in spell resistance. You definitely want to have this if you're facing a lot of casters. Now, bad news is the spell magic and breach can get rid of this. Lesser Spell Mantle can absorb 1d6 +6 levels of spells before it goes bye-bye. Great defensive spell to cast on yourself, cast it, and then go crazy after. Flame Strike does 1d6 of damage per caster level, max is 15d6. Now, this is 50% fire, 50% divine. This is a alright for a favorite soul spell to use. Sometimes you want to use it as an opener or a nice closer. So let's get to level 6. Here are the level 6 spells I'm suggesting. Heal. Heals 10 hit points per caster level, max is 150. Very powerful healing spell, by the way. Cures most status effects. Nice to have too. Now, if you're going on the damage side against the undead, damage does is 10 hit points per caster level, max is 150 hit points versus the undead. I'm going to say for this build, use it to mainly heal. I didn't do harm because that gets resisted a lot. So next up is Energy Immunity. Gives complete immunity for 24 in-game hours of the following elements: fire, cold, lightning, acid, and sonic. One full protection spell to have. You're facing a fire-breathing foe or fire-casting foe. Cast this spell and select fire, and you're great to go. Greater Dispel Magic attempts to strip all forms of magic protection on a target. The spell check is 1d20 plus 1, max is 15 on that last number. I'm going to say, you really want to use this. If a wizard's bugging you with his protection spell, go ahead and cast it. If it goes through, well, have fun with that said wizard. Planar Ally, I put a star on because you're going to replace this eventually. This summons the following: Evil Succubus, Neutral Synth, and Good, the Celestial Bear. This is a decent tanking creature to have until you get a much better one down the line. Next up is Stone Body. You gain damage reduction 10/Adamantite and plus 4 strength, immunity, blindness, critical hits, any other effects too. Downside, -4 dexterity, you move at half speed, -8 AC. And if you're also couple that with the Arcane Caster, yeah, you'll definitely fail more often than not. This is great to have because of the immunities and the strength and the damage reduction. Blade Barrier drops a blade wall that does 1d6 of slashing damage per caster level, maxes 15d6. Now, this is a great way to wipe out cannon fodder that's coming to you. Drop the blade barrier down and just watch the bodies fly. Superior resistance is plus 6 bonuses to all save throws. Cast this one big time, especially going against certain spellcasters. Now, let's go to level 7. Here are the level 7 spells, and you're getting much stronger at this point with the spell casting. Greater Restoration removes most negative effects. It will also remove level drain. I had to put that in there. It will not remove negative mental effects or reduce movement speed, unfortunately. Wonderful news! Heals the target of full hit points. Seriously OP spell. First spell you want to get at level 7 ASAP. Resurrection. Target comes back to life with full hit points. You're definitely playing official campaigns. The second spell you definitely want to get. So this way you can revive your companions back to health, then send them right back on in. Word of Faith, a wave of divine energy blasts all foes. Here what it does the following: level 4 or lower, they're dead, no matter what. They're toast. 5 to 7, they are stunned, confusion sets in, and blindness also on said foes. Level 8 to 11, stun and blindness sets in. Level 12 and up, blindness only sets in. All summons die in this. Very powerful spell. Cast this when you're in a serious bind. Next up is Spell Mantle. Can absorb 1d8 plus 8 spell levels before it goes bye-bye. Great defensive spell to use. Ethereal Jaunt. You become ethereal. That means you cannot be attacked. Do an attack or hostile action. The spell will go bye-bye. Great for a situational spell. If things are going bad for you, cast this. You can run back, regroup, and then attack again. Regenerate. Regenerates 10% of the target's maximum hit points per round. This lasts 60 seconds. You really want to use this spell in case you're in a serious bind. Let's go to level 8. Here are level 8 spells. Mass Death Ward. It's like Death Ward except for effects of the entire party in the casting area. Cast this and everybody has Death Ward. Very powerful spell to use. Create Greater Undead. Summons the following based on your caster level. 15 and under, you get a Shadow. 16 through 17 is a Wraith. No, 18 through 19 is a regular vampire. Level 20 and above is elite vampire. This is one of the best summoning spells you could get for this class. I'm going to say this also. Get rid of your planar ally and definitely use this one from here on out. Firestorm does 1d6 damage per caster level. Max is 20d6, 50% fire, and 50% divine magic. Here's the great news. It does a lot of damage, so if you need to clear a whole bunch of foes starting out, go ahead and do so. Wall of Greater Dispel. Now this does is like Greater Dispel magic except for its wall form. Any foes pass by it, boom, their buffs are gone. You definitely want to use this against a foe that's just standing there casting spells. Last but not least is level 9. Storm of Vengeance does 3d6 acid damage in the area. Foes fail a reflex save, takes additional 3d6 damage that's electrical and can be stunned. This can last a while and is seriously OP. Use this as a very nice opener, especially against tough foes. Energy Drain. Target loses 2d6 for character levels, no saving throws. Yes, this is a touch spell. So you go ahead and use this spell. If you want to lower their level, if it connects, that's it. They lose a lot of levels and you have some fun with them. Mass Heal. All allies are healed for 10 hit points per caster level. Max is 150 hit points. So everybody could get healed 150 hit points, which is really good. All allies are healed of certain effects too. Undead does take the exact same damage if they don't resist this at all. For instance, if the max is 150 hit points, well, they take 150 hit points worth of damage since it's positive energy. Extremely great to use. Everybody's in trouble, pop this on you and your party, and you're all good to go. Etherealness. All party members become ethereal. That means they will not be able to be attacked at all until someone ruins this by attacking the foe. Then it goes bye-bye. Your party's in trouble. Go ahead and cast this, then regroup, and then go in again and kick some butt. Now, for the next part of the video is the character progression. Let's go ahead and get to that. It is time to definitely level up our character. Please note that spell selection is limited. You can always go back every time when you do level up to take out a certain spell, then add another one in case you do not like at certain points. I'll definitely point that out, most likely midway through the build. So let's go ahead and do it. We're going to go ahead and do the monk. A few reasons I'm doing it. If you want to go cloth, then go ahead and do so. Stack up on wisdom items. If not, the main thing we're focusing on is, you guessed it, these skills. I'm aiming for tumble for a few reasons. I want to get that to 30. Since we are able learners, that'll definitely count as a not a cross class. So we're going to do concentration, diplomacy. Yeah, you're going to need to talk your way through the campaign, especially the original ones. Spellcraft, yeah, because those nice resistance. And put 5 points in the tumble. I'm going to put 2 points in the spot for the giggles. You could do other things. You could store it. You put 1 point and use magical device. Up to you all on this. Whatever choice you feel good about. Now, if you want a fist fight as a favorite soul, make sure you pick a deity that is like that too. Just remember. Now we're going to go to favorite soul from 2 to 4. Yeah, we're going to select that once again. Now, if you're stuck on a certain build part, use my timestamps to help to see what I was doing. We're going to go ahead and do concentration, diplomacy, spellcraft, and yes, now tumble. Those are the 4 we're aiming for. So let's go ahead and do all that. And voila. Every 10 points in tumble, we get 1 free AC, different from 5 from Neverwinter Nights 1. Now, next on the list, we're not picking blind fight. Yeah, we're getting that later on in a domain. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my notes. And of course, it does say the following. You want practice spellcaster, favorite soul. In other words, your spellcaster level increases by 4. This is actually pretty good, especially if you're multi-classing, which we are. So let's go ahead and pick our spells. Now, this is just use my list for that. And unfortunately, we can't pick level 1. We're going to finish out the level 0 ones. And there, we got all of them. So you didn't have to panic at all. Next up on the list is the favorite soul once again. And this time we're going to go ahead and do charisma. We're going to do charisma up to 21 points. After that is strength. So pick the same skills I'm picking, especially spellcraft and tumble. We're stopping at 30 for spellcraft and tumble, by the way. Because after that, you won't benefit much from it. So we're going to go ahead and pick another spell. Now, I could do was Cure Light Wounds. Shield of Faith is good, so if you want to heal, then pick Cure Light Wounds. Otherwise, pick the other ones like I did. You have to rely on potions and healing kits, but that's alright. So, I'm going to show you this Monk AC bonus once again. Now, if you're wearing a shield, that goes bye-bye. I'm wearing armor that's heavier than cloth. So, if I ever find some nice cloth armor, I don that on, now I'll be all set for the bonus. Despite the fact I have low wisdom, so that's why I'm looking for wisdom necklaces. So we're going to pick favorite soul once again. We'll pick concentration, diplomacy, spellcraft, and of course tumble. We're almost at 10 for tumble, so that's good news. Now we're at level 2. And on my list, I'm picking aid. So this way we get some extra stuff from it. That is good. Let's see what else. We're going to do find traps. We cast that and help our rogue out. And lesser restoration. It cures some of the nasty debuffs. You definitely want that. Big time. So that's just my suggestion. You could go with the other spells I have on my suggestion list too. So now we're going to go ahead and pick Cleric. We're doing only 2 reasons. Number 1 is turn undead, obviously. We'll be using that later on, once again, from Divine Might. And number 2 is the domains. We're after the domain feats. So pick the same skills I'm picking, including tumble. We're almost at 10. Now, what we're going to pick is power attack. You're asking, Lord Fenton, why is that? Well, it's a prerequisite for, you guessed it, Divine Might. We also get heavy armor, turn undead, and spontaneous conversion. I don't care about the class stuff on that, but still power attack is good. It's a gateway to many things. Now there's so many good stuff you could get. Darkness is great because you get blind fight. I think one of the other ones, for example, gives toughness. Water gives you evasion, which is alright. Travel, it's okay. Luck I'm going to pick because of the luck of the heroes. We have an opportunity to get that. That's not level 1. Trickery is not bad. So my advice is luck and dark, and of course darkness. So this way you get some free feats. You're aiming for free feats in this, not of course the spells. You're not going to be going beyond one as a cleric. Now we're back on the favorite soul. So from 5 to 7, we're doing just that. For the next class change, favorite soul. So we're going to go ahead and do concentration, diplomacy, spellcraft, and of course tumble. So now we get one free armor class, which is very nice. Every 10 points we get one free AC. Downgrade from Neverwinter Nights 1, I'll say. Now you can pick any one you want. I probably say fire and cold is most common. Electrical 2 out of the 3. I'm doing fire because I feel like, yeah, it's really there. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is pick some more spells. Once again, I always say this. You don't like my suggestion, then look at my recommended list. It tells you much better. Now I couldn't do that one level 2. Instead I could do level 1. I'm going to go ahead and do Cure Light Wounds. Now I could pick that first, then pick with Bless, or pick Divine Favor and Bless and be ready. So we got our feat of Resist Fire, so we get to be more likely to definitely resist fire spells and effects too, which is very good. So we're going to go to Favorite Soul once again. Yeah, I'm going to hit the next button and we're going to do Charisma. Yeah, we're at 18 Charisma already, so that is very good. That'll help out with our diplomacy skill, I'll tell you all that. We'll do Diplomacy, Concentration, Spellcraft, and Tumble. Now we're going to get ourselves a new set of 3 spells for level 3 we get to select and choose from. I am definitely looking for first on the list is, you guessed it, Prayer. It's a very powerful buff spell. Enemies receive penalties the same. Cast at the start of battle and boom. Let the good times roll. Blind Sight is just like See Invisible. Pretty nice. Remove Curse, I picked that for one reason, in case I get cursed or our allies do. I cure them. Simple as that. Next up is weapon. You could do Weapon of Impact if you have a blunt weapon. If not, skip it. I do mean skip it. Now let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do Protection from Energy. Very nice defensive spell I cast, and I just go all ham on foes. Now I'm going to go ahead and pick, let's see which one it is. I am looking for Silence. So I cast that on a MD caster. If it succeeds, well, they can't cast any spells, and I have good time with them at their own expense, or I say my expense. Yeah, they're casters. They should never mess with us in the first place. There you go. We're going to just keep on going, and look at that free AC we just got. Yep. So let's do Favorite Soul. Let's keep on going with Concentration, Diplomacy. Let's see what else. Spellcraft. And finally, Tumble. Let's hit the next button. Let's see what we could get. All right, we get another set of feats. Extend spell. This will extend your buffs. However, it'll take a spell slot above. So, for example, if you want to extend a level 4 spell, you have to use up a level 5 slot. So, be warned about that. But still, it's very great to have. It extends the timer longer on buffs. So, we're going to go ahead and do, let's see here. Can't do level 3. I thought we can, but nope. I would pick Searing Life. I can. Let's do level 1, and I am going to go ahead and let's see, where is it at? The one I'm doing is Remove Fear, so this way not only I can remove fear from our allies, they also get a nice bonus against fear. So we're done with the Favorite Soul for now. Now we're at the Paladin levels. For 3 levels, we're being a Paladin. We're going for a few things. More Turn Undead, obviously, number 2. Smite Evil, yeah, just only 1, but still that's fine, and some feats. Same as before, Spellcraft, and of course Tumble will be cross-class. We'll take care of that. Now we got, besides Smite Evil, we got the nice martial weapons. However, we don't need that. Still, Smite Evil is based on your Charisma modifier, so if we combine that, for instance, with Divine Might, especially the epic version, will do a lot of damage to one foe. So let's keep on leveling up our paladin portion of this guide. I should say build, actually. Same skills as before. There you go. Divine Grace and Lay on Hands. Let's go over each of them for those of you who are new to the paladin. Divine Grace does is adds their charisma bonus to all save throws. Pretty good, since we're going to have high charisma for this build. And Lay on Hands, it uses charisma modifier to heal. Like, for example, player characters yourself, or damage, for instance, the undead. We're going to go ahead and do charisma. We're at 19 charisma, so things are definitely looking up for our character. Same skills as before, and voila. Divine Health, Aurora Courage. Yeah, Divine Health, that means we're immune to diseases. Aurora Courage, it's anti-fear Aurora. And we're doing Divine Might. This does is it spends 1 year turn undeads, and it adds his charisma bonus to all weapon damage. And it's very powerful. Just trust me. So we're going to go ahead and finish this off, then go back to the Favorite Soul for 8 to 15, the non-epics. And there you go. So let's level up again. Favorite Soul for the rest of this guide. Concentration, Diplomacy. Let's see what else. Spellcraft, and of course, Tumble. We're almost at 20, so that's another free AC for Tumble. Let's go ahead and select our spells once again. Here we're back at the casting part, so don't panic at all. And we're going to get its Divine Power. This is one OP, I do mean seriously OP buff. You cast this on yourself, and boom, you're a wrecking ball. And later on, when you get higher up the levels, you'll be as if you're, for example, a 28 fighter, if you're at character level 28. There you go, freedom of movement. In other words, stops some bad effects. Neutralize poison. I like to use that, so this way, if there's poison on me, boom, I cure myself and others. You may never know, you might meet an assassin who loves to poison you. Let's see here, I'm checking my list. And I'm going to do is Vigor. So this is like a nice regeneration spell. It's on my list. I'm checking what else I'm going to do. Let's see here. Remove paralysis. Pretty good to have. I could have resist energy too if I wanted to. That's another great one. So we're going to just keep on going. Favorite Soul. Let's pick the same skills as before. Alright, we're closing in at 20 once again. I have to repeat it, but still, it's like a sighting though. I'm sorry, no feats at all. It's one of those things. Same thing with selection of spells. It happens once in a while, so Favorite Soul, level 10. Now, good news is we have weapon focus, or deity weapon. For example, the Baster Sword. Well, we focus more on that. Now we're going to pick Cold Energy because I felt like that's the second most common. You could do Electric too. Up to you all on this. So I am going to go ahead and pick Toughness. You're asking, why is that? And why did you pass up Improved Critical? So you see, Improved Toughness doubles your hit points, which is great. And why Improved Critical does like a threat rate, but I pass on it because I have other spells and abilities that will help me out big time to boost up my melee damage. So now we're at level 5 spells to select. The first one I was looking for is, let's see here, where's it at? No, I'm not doing Slay Living. Yeah, we don't have much to select. So we're doing Battle Tide. Now, enemies will get debuff. When they get in the Aurora, you get buffed up. Very good exchange, I say. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and select True Seeing. Now, I'm going to mention this. I forgot to mention this, I think. If you're getting any items that, for example, you put True Seeing on, that's fine. Now, there is a campaign that goes from one to the other, and you lose said items from the first one. Well, you have to either have someone recreate those said items, or you have to live without True Seeing. So if you want to take a risk of that, that's fine. If not, then yeah, pick True Seeing. Now, if I was, for example, a cleric, on the other hand, I say, yeah, just go with the flow. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and pick some more spells of the lesser levels. I'm trying to see here. Okay. Level 3, I'm trying to remember which one I did. I think I'm going to do is Blind Sight, so this way I can spot foes in the dark. Yep, that's correct. Level 2, we get another one. That is good. Let's select that one too. There's so many options you get to choose from. I think it's like 6 to 8 on the first 3 spell levels. I'm not counting 0 because 0 is a set number of spells, and that's it. Yeah, you get limited selection. I picked Darkness, of course, obviously. I cast that and boom, let the good times roll. And that should do it. Now we'll just keep on leveling up our character. Now we're going to pick his charisma since we're at level 16. Same as before, concentration, diplomacy, spellcraft, and of course finally tumble. Sorry, no feats once again, no spells to select 2. Favorite soul. Now we're going to put everything at 20. Great news, we get another free armor class by 1. So all we need to do is just 10 more levels and we can move on to something else. Now we're at level 6. This is the starting to get the really good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and obviously pick heal. Yeah, I'm just going to just say it. It's a very nice healing spell. Also, if you want to waste a spell slot, damage spell. Energy immunity is good too. It's situational. Always situational. And I'm going to repeat this again. I have to. I only pick planar allies, so this way when I get create greater undead, yeah, I get some better options out there. I'm doing Righteous Might. Of course, this will give me a nice buff, which is very good. And some other things too. Let's go ahead and look at anything else I need to do. Yeah, it looks like I have to select another one. Yeah, in this regular class, you have to select a lot. Got myself the least spell mantle. Or protection, right? With spells. So that's why I don't get hit much. Let's see what else I could grab too. There's so much options you could grab. However, wish you could grab them all. But if you do, you just might as well play a cleric. I did regular dispel magic for the heck of it. Didn't put it on the list, but still it's nice to have. Let's go ahead and check out what I did get. Now I got weapon specialization, so I get +2 damage with the chosen weapon, which is very good. Unfortunately, we won't be able to, if I remember right, get epic weapon specialization at all. No, you have to go in so many fire levels for that. Let's go ahead and select those. Yeah, you have to go through the whole list of weapon focus, weapon specialization, greater weapon focus, all that stuff. Now, what I am looking for down the list is persistent spell. Yeah, this is the one here. This one will make your spell duration to 24 hours in game time instead of your normal few rounds. However, downside is it takes 6 spell slots up. So if you want to go ahead and do a certain one, yeah, you have to do that. Pretty good, for example, Bless and anything. I'll probably say 1 through 4 maybe. It's pretty good for that. I think it's really just 1 through 3, but it's great to have for that feat. You need extend spell, that's why I got that too. Now we're at level 7. Yeah, this is when things are starting to get really good. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and select which one I want. Greater Restoration. Yeah, that free heal is nice. Plus getting rid of some bad stuff too. Yeah, I'm taking my time on this build with the spells because I want to make sure I get everything right for my suggested stuff. Yeah, we're not doing Blood of Water Destruction. Yeah, that's damage spells and I want to buff myself up. Always good to have Resurrection in case I want to revive someone, and Words of Faith. In case there's a lot of cannon fodder, I cast that. And if they're under, for instance, level 4, or say 4 and under, they die. Let's see what else I could get. Okay, we're not there yet at level 8. So I can switch out the planar ally. Yeah, we're going to have to keep that for a lot longer. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and select Blade Barrier. Always nice to have. That was a brutal thing in Neverwinter Nights 1. 2, a lot more fun. I'll leave it at that. For those of you who wanted to try that out. Well, actually, you see the demonstration towards the next part of the video guide. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and pick some more, finish that out. After that, we'll definitely get into the epics soon. Well, actually, one more level for that. I forgot to pick Death Ward. That was my mistake. I should have did it earlier. There were so many good spells at 4 to choose from. Yeah, always pick Death Ward second. Now we're at level 20, last time for the non-epics. If you need to change out any spells, go ahead and do so. So concentration, diplomacy, spellcraft, and of course tumble. 7 more points, we got the 30. I am going to go ahead and do resist electrical energy. I feel like that's the third most common one of that. So there you go. We're all good and set to go for the epics. Now, welcome to the wonderful world of epic levels in Neverwinter Nights 2. That is exactly 2. Concentration, diplomacy, what else? Spellcraft, and finally tumble. We're finished and done. Now we're epic characters. We're working now towards this getting to, you guessed it, charisma to 22. We'll stop there, and strength to 22. So we get, you guessed, get once again epic divine might. That's why y'all came here for the favorite soul, to get that. So let's go ahead and select our level 8 spells. Now we're doing mass death ward. Got that first, so everybody gets a death ward. In case I run out of that, I still got the regular stuff. I'm keeping that on my character. I could do stunned beam, however it has wisdom checks. I have to pass on that. I'm looking at my list. It's a lot to look. Create greater undead. Yeah, I'm getting that right away. And finally, I believe it was either wall dispel magic or firestorm. I also did was aurora versus alignment. Yeah, that was a decent one to get, but I'll do firestorm. Let's go ahead and pick another 7 one. And after that, we'll switch out the 6 one. We have another slot. Ethereal Giant, in case I'm in trouble, I was about to do that, but I said Spell Mantle, that was better. So 1d8 plus 8 spell levels I get to, absorb. We'll get rid of Planar Ally. We don't need it no more. Yeah, see, you could get your spells in and out. I did that with, I think, Cure Light Wounds too. I swapped that out for Greater Dispel Magic. So now I can seriously remove some protection and Superior Resistance too. Those are always good to use. And yeah, it looks like it's, I have to do this. Okay, let's see what else I'm going to go ahead and grab, for instance. I am going to go get Flame Strike. Nice damage spell to have. Nothing else is there. We'll hit next. So now we have 22 charisma. So from here on out, it'll be all strength. Everything's strength. So you want to definitely do that. Once you definitely hit, I'm going to say again, 22 and above, go towards the other stat. So this way you work on getting Epic Divine Might. And with the stats we get your items and such, yeah, our damage will definitely double. Melee style. So let's go ahead and select the feat we need. Obviously, I will definitely select, you guessed it, Greater Strength. I'm looking for it, and there you go. We're going to start working on getting our strength up now. Just boost it up like crazy. Now at this point, in the epics, we're at level 9. Storm of Vengeance, I'm taking that. Mass Heal, definitely taking that. And Energy Drain. That's some griefing spell, by the way. Now, I could do is, let's see here, Wall of Greater Dispel Magic. That's nice to have. Also, I could do is Mass Cure Critical Wounds. Yeah, there's so many good options. I always say it's experiment. You don't like it, just switch to something else. So let's see what I'm going to get. Ethereal Jaunt. That's good to have. I'm in trouble. I cast that. Run away. Hopefully I don't have True Seeing. Otherwise, yeah, I'm in big trouble. Let's see what I'm going to look for. Where is it at? Yeah, Stone Body. Yeah, this is a good buff to have. Make sure you have haste or anything else on you so you can negate, you guessed it, the slowness half speed. It's cheating, but that's all right. And there. Now we're at 17 strength, so we're going to keep on going. Now we're going to be at 18 strength. Yeah, we're pumping up that strength like crazy. So I'll pick the same skills I'm picking. Hit next, and sorry, no spell change or feats at all. Favorite soul, we'll pick it, same skills. Now we're closing at 30. Once we get to 30, then I'll go into greater detail why I picked the other ones. Now, if you do Coal Iron, that's versus Chaotic Foes. Silver against Lawful Foes. Those two are good. Vampire Feast is alright, but due to the fact you have low wisdom, yeah, that's not great. So you pick the either one of those two damage reductions. I decided to do the Law one. In the future, I'll probably, if I play this on the campaign, it'll probably be the other one. Cold Iron. Still, those are always good. And we're doing Great Strength once again as a nice bonus. Now we get to pick the final level 9 spell. We're doing Etherealness. The whole party gets Ethereal Jaunt. However, if someone decides to attack, they spoil the fun. Big ol' boo. Level 8's alright, but at this point, I'll probably say pick any you want to do. I'm going to do is mass, I'm going to either do Aurora versus Alignment or Mass Cure Critical Wounds. So those are nice. Let's see here, level 7. Regenerate, that's OP. Yeah, they'll heal 10% of someone's health, and voila. There you go. And I can switch out Cure Critical Wounds. I forgot to do that. Oops. Sanctuary, we'll have that there as another backup. And there you go. We'll keep on going. Now we're getting a lot of strength, so we're going to try to do is for our feats, we'll spend some feats on greater strength. Same skills as before, and we're 1 point away from 30. Sorry, no feats, no spells to select from. It happens. Favorite soul, concentration, diplomacy, spellcraft, and finally tumble. We get 1 free AC. That's the final one. That is it. Now, if this was Neverwinter Nights 1, yeah, we would just get the 40. Great strength. There we go. Now we're at 20. We're getting close to 22 as our goal. So we're going to go ahead and select that. Select that for 21. There you go. Pick the same skills as I am. With the exception, no more spellcraft, no more tumble. We're going to use magical device. I heard if you get to 5 or 6, you're golden. So we're going to go down the list, and where we select right now is, you guessed it, Epic Divine Might. This will, we call it Divine Might, now adds twice your charisma bonus to your weapon damage. More damage, more power. And if you have items like, for example, Nymph's Cloak, yeah, and along with the stats I have, you're really golden. Same thing with certain charisma buffs too. So let's just let's see here, concentration, diplomacy, and of course use magical device. And 1 greater strength for the last one. So after that, we got 1 more level, and we are definitely done with the character building part of this video. So pick your skills for the last time. I'm gonna go ahead and use magical device and the other 2, and that should do it. So we're gonna go ahead and do the next part of the video, which is item advice. Let's talk about gear advice for ability scores or attributes. Go for strength and charisma. Those are your top 2. Then dexterity, constitution, and finally wisdom. If you need anything like keen on weapons, go ahead and do so. Same thing with haste. If you do need any save throws, go ahead and get it. Now just remember, Neverwinter Nights 2, for ability scores, yeah, you cannot have 10. You have to have an actual 10 item. No 8 plus 2, because they'll just stay at 8 as the top. So you definitely want to aim for the stuff I said, and also some of the enchantments. If you can do true seeing on an item, that is very good. Now for the last part of the video, we're going to go ahead and do the combat advice. It's time for the combat portion of the video. I decided to buff up off screen and summon myself an elite vampire since I am level 25. First thing we're going to do is against critical hit foes. So what we're going to do is lizard folks this time, a large one. So I always want to use an opener spell, for instance, Storm Vengeance. And also you guessed it, Divine Might. In my case, Epic Divine Might. Yeah, unfortunately I have that one spell that makes me move slow, but that's alright. Has a whole bunch of protection. I am well over, if I remember correctly, 40 AC. So I have a lot of AC. I'm not taking much damage, so that's all good. Storm Vengeance is doing its job. I'm going ahead and go melee. My vampires help me out. My party will help me out too. So at times, if I'm in a party system, then I either heal or attack. I'm situational with this build. So we're doing raid party against the undead. So you're asking, what about foes you could critical hit against, or foes you cannot? Well, I hate to say it, you'll destroy them. You don't worry about not getting critical hits. I mean, come on. And let's see where it's at. I'm going to go ahead and dispel that Lich. That's what I aim for. I'm going to use my situational thing. There you go. His buffs are going bye-bye. Now I'm going to go ahead and do Blade Barrier Location. Because you know very well with the AI in this game, yeah, they'll just walk towards it and they'll die. I could use Turn Undead, but it'll be useless since I am way too low on Cleric and Paladin levels. I'm going to Smite Evil on the Lich and destroy him. And, oh wow, it just did miss. Imagine if I would have got a nice connecting there. Oh wait, I still have it. My mistake. Oh, yeah, the vampire did good. Now we have one more foe left, and I'll give my final advice, and that should definitely do it. Yeah, let's see, where's he at? There you go. And voila, he just went down 1 hit. So I'm going to give everybody some advice before I do end the video. You start a little bit slow, but things pick up really quick, especially when you get towards the Paladin levels, get some Paladin stuff, including Divine Might. When you get more favorite soul spells, you'll wreck the joint. And especially with the weapon specialization, you'll really own it in combat. You'll be always situational. You'll either heal, buff up, or definitely attack either magic or might. Well, everyone, this is it for my favorite Epic Divine Might Champion, favorite soul, Monk, Cleric Paladin build video. This is Lord Fenton signing off. Thanks for watching, and have a great day or night. Please stay safe. Please subscribe to my channel for more guides, builds, and other videos from Neverwinter Nights 2. If you like what you see, then pick my suggestion on the upper left hand corner or YouTube suggestion on the bottom left hand corner. Have a great day or night and do enjoy the view.